so Cignal, what do they do now? I imagine that they just pick either their 5 or their 4, depending on how they want to run the. They want to run the Coddle, and they will go for Invoker. Given that they have the last overall pick, I'm gonna guess that this is not actually their mid laner, and this is probably your position 4 Invoker that we're looking at here. The EMP is certainly quite nice to have against the Kunkka. And the Sand King's a strong enough laner that I think the Invoker should be fine in sort of that position 4 role.
5 seconds remaining.
The one thing I do worry a little bit about for Cignal is that their lineup just does nothing against BKBs currently, but Boom ID not going to opt for a Jug or a Lifesteal or anything like that. They do instead just go for Slark. Alright, so he can certainly hunt these 2 supports. There is quite a lot of AoE, like, burst magical damage and control, though, so I'm not sure if I'm completely enamored with this
5 seconds remaining.
this Slark pickup, but we'll see how it does. It strikes me as a little bit weird, to be honest. I really thought that they were just going to go for, like, the Lifestealer. Have they picked Slark recently? Let's have a quick look. What have they been doing? What's been working? They've picked quite a bit of Void, but they banned that themselves pretty much right away. They played a little bit of Phantom Lancer, some Alk, a Sven. Doesn't actually look like they've played that much Slark, but they feel like this is a good Slark game. The matchup against Sand King should be fine. He'll get the heal on him from the Warlock or just be able to steal stats and just sit there. But Cignal, what do you get rid of now? I know that Boom also, like, they are willing to run offlane Kunkka, so it could be 3 Kunkka. That's something to keep in mind. And that does seem to be what Cignal are kind of banning for now, is they get rid of the Ember. So they're thinking that this is going to be your position 2. For Boom ID, Bristleback, super sensible ban, just really good with Coddle. Not quite as good as it used to be with the way that Chakra previously worked, but still definitely a really strong combo. So, Boom, what do you ban then? I guess you potentially get rid of a mid, but it could still be Gyrocopter mid, it could still be Invoker mid. I wouldn't mind Cignal having maybe a little bit more, like, building damage. And I guess they also maybe want some more stuff against Slark. So they could pick, like, a Lesh. That would still work. Pugna could be okay. Not necessarily great. What else? They could also pick something for, like, the Kunkka matchup, but I'm just not sure that Kunkka is even going mid. So I don't know if it's worth trying to pick your Monkey King, your Timber. Actually, mentioning Timber, he is pretty good against both Slark and Kunkka. So that could be something to watch out for in this spot. And Timber pretty good with the Keeper of the Light. So could be something that Boom ID have to worry about a little bit here. They're really thinking about it. I guess they need to make a final decision about whether or not Kunkka is mid or not. Okay, yeah, they banned the Timber. Smart move. Smart move. Very sensible. I don't get this Slark pick, though. I don't understand what the Slark is for. I don't think this hero has looked all that great recently.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Beastmaster.
And Boom ID picking Beastmaster last. Okay, so it's either Beast or Kunkka mid. The other one of them is going off lane. They're very single. I guess they've got a bit of team fight with the Chaotic Offering and the boat. But Cignal just gonna go for an OD. All right, yeah. So it is gonna be your support Invoker. I like the OD against the against the Slark, against the Kunkka, against the Beastmaster, save people from X, save people after they get roared. This is looking like a nice OD pick. And yeah, who's playing? So is it? So it's mid Kunkka. Oh no, wait, it's mid Lina. What am I talking about? So. Oh no, wait, isn't In Your Dream playing support? He is, right? I'm losing it. Yeah, he is. In Your Dream's playing 4. Okay, yeah. So Makoto is playing. It's mid Kunkka, 4 Lina, 5 Warlock. Safe lane Slark, off lane Beastmaster. So not a very fun matchup for the Kunkka at mid. OD does have to be a little bit careful about how he uses the Astral, and there could be rotations coming in. He gets X'd and dragged back into a combo. A little bit of some Lina nukes in there as well. They don't have the best counter ganking supports early on. Like maybe Invoker TPs in and throws out a tornado, but that's about the limit of what they're capable of. Very, very interesting. I think I favor Cignal super heavily if this goes late, but the early to mid game power of Boom ID's lineup is certainly there. Like they've got some scary stuff that they can do in the early to mid game, especially if Kunkka just goes sort of a run at you build. I know that a lot of Kunkkas are going for your sort of Spirit Vessel rush and stuff these days. So definitely something to look out for.
I will commit this to memory.
This is working. There we go. Nice. Anything interesting going on item build wise? Standard, lots of regen for the Sand King. Cuddle with a Fairy Fire. Double Null coming up. Nando. Gyrocopter I think really suits him as a hero. It's definitely his style. We'll see if he gets punished too much this game. There is a decent amount of catch from the Beastmaster and the Kunkka. So the way that Nando normally likes to play, being really far up in lanes, kind of posturing, taking deep farm, could be one of these games where we see him get punished pretty heavily for that. But a lot of this game is going to rest on how good of an early game the Slark has, I think. If the Slark gets off to an early start and he's able to start running around and just farming the enemy's supports, then I think Boom are looking great. But if he doesn't have a fantastic start and they're sort of on the back foot, that's where things could start getting kind of ugly. Because I don't think they win this late game, and just because Beastmaster doesn't really scale for late game team fight. They do have, like I said, decent team fight from the Warlock and the Kunkka, but not a ton of synergy for the Fatal Bonds necessarily. And I would be remiss to underestimate OD and Gyrocopter in the late game. These two heroes are just absolute monsters when it comes to the late game. And I think Sand King is maybe a little bit better than Beastmaster late game as well. And of course, Invoker is always just going to be Invoker past a certain point. So definitely something to look out for. Apologies if you guys can hear any construction noise. There is a construction site next to my apartment at the moment. There's not a whole lot that I can do about it. They're not being too noisy currently, so it should be okay. Boots first, Invoker. Okay. I mean, it's not boots first, but first item he's planning on buying is the boots. I thought that Invoker might be one of the heroes still considering the Bassi even after the nerfs, because I think you can with Quas kind of get away with only having one set of tangos right at the start, but I think this also works. The Mango is nice. It's really tough to have a full combo as Invoker early on. Tornado EMP is pretty expensive. Position 4, you're not going to have any nulls or anything like that. Alright, there you go. Got the good luck, have fun. So, is it even good luck, have fun, or is it just good luck? Alright, we got at least one good luck, have fun. I feel like the have fun has become less common these days. Okay, what are they doing? Anything interesting? Not really. Slark just going safe lane. Yeah, very standard lanes, nobody trying for any kind of mix-up or anything like that. We'll have to see how this Beastmaster Lina lane actually does, because this lane from Cignal is pretty
30
spammy.
seconds to
Like
battle.
I think the blinding light is going to be annoying. The flak cannon pushing things out as well. Don't know how much pressure they're really going to be able to apply with these boars, but you see Nando is wasting no time at all, killing off that first one. He knows he's going to have mana from the chakra later on, so not a huge deal. In Your Dream, nice stun. Kezcute also making an appearance down here, but looks like it is just going to be a 2-2 bounty
Battle
split.
begins.
Nobody on Boom getting even anywhere close to the top bounty runes. Alright, how's this block gonna go? Show me your moves, Jamesy. Pretty good, pretty good. Does he want the range creep to pop? I guess he does not, but it looks like Makoto's got the better block overall, and it is gonna end up over on his hill. Range creep kid didn't die first. Oh, and he just gets the cleave in time. So no deny for Jamesy. Alright, that's a nice start for Makoto. And now if he could deny this ranged creep, then that would be very nice for him. It's getting low. Lane's kind of pushing a little bit. Torrent. Oh, alright, he just manages to get it. Yeah, you can see Makoto kind of following up from that good block nicely. Just getting the lane pushing, making it tough for Jamesy to do too much. He's not going to get caught by the torrent, and does prevent him from getting the last hit with that imprisonment. But so far, all three lanes on the side of Boom going pretty well CS-wise. I mean, it's still early days, of course, and there is a pretty big wave pushed up underneath Nando's tower here, so should be able to get most of this. Yeah, doing nicely. What's happening up top? Van actually getting gone on Cold Snap, holding back Dream of Cell for a second. But Van taking 5 stacks there. We'll just be able to salve back up quickly. Do they have a sentry? Yeah, they do have a sentry ward down. Okay. But yeah, all of Signal's lanes getting pushed in somewhat early. Back to the mid lane. Jamesy manages to sidestep that cleave. 2-minute rune is just going to be an illusion. Don't know if either one of them is going to be too eager to go and grab that. I think that tornado was attempted to dispel the shadow word, but did not land. So there you go. Okay, and Nando is still struggling bottom. Can you get both of these into the tower? Seems like In Your Dream is just kind of pumping him. He's only got 2 tangos left. Grims has actually already used all of his regen. So this Boom dual lane is actually going really nicely. I didn't think that they would be able to put on this much pressure. I really thought that the boars were going to be a little bit of a liability down here, but appears to not be the case. We'll check out the mid lane a bit more. So this lane is, I guess this matchup is good for OD in the sense that he's got combo breaking against the Kunkka's killing combo, but nobody likes laning against Kunkka. The harassment just starts adding up. He's gonna get level 5 before too long, so even more Tidebringer coming in. Dream of Cell manning up on Van. Does still have the pounce available. Invoker gonna try and body block that, but I don't know if he can really stand here and tank either. Now the pounce coming out, bit more damage, EMP on the ground, but that's first blood. Dream of Cell more than happy to take that, get his first permanent stack of the game, and Boom. I mean, I guess this is about how you expect the early game to go for them. Or this is what they were hoping for. Late game is still going to be scary, but cruising along for now. I don't know if he was he trying to use the blind just to stop them getting the kill, or was he trying to secure it himself? But In Your Dream willing to just use the stun. Actually, an interesting build. 2 points in the Light Strike array early on. Fiery Soul is not very value to level up. You only get you get 40 attack speed per stack for 1 point, and then you only get an extra 15 per stack for each consecutive point. So I guess if you don't feel like you're actually going to be using the Dragon Slave a whole lot early on, may as well just get some more points in the Light Striker, right? It just scales on damage and stun duration. I guess the mana cost goes up a little bit as well. I was just checking if the cooldown went down at all, but not the case. We got bounty runes coming up soon. Cignal have this weird little creep wave situation going on. Oh, but the range creeps, they peel off. I don't know if these trolls will end up killing them, but yeah, Cignal have to kind of fight for these creeps now. What's happening over here? Grims is pulling. I guess he's going to try and get over it in time to grab the bounties, but looks like it might be a majority of bounties for Boom ID. Yeah, In Your Dream going to grab both of these. And Kezcute able to grab one over on the top side. Alright, that's nice. Jamesy's pretty low. Oh, the salve! Alright, good dodge. Needed to keep that salve intact. Makoto still pressuring though. It's still below half HP. Needing to be careful of that level 6 coming up on the Kunkka. A little bit of a D-ward battle happening up at top, but they did trade, so Vayne just gonna have to be happy with that, able to stay inside the invis. But Jamesy ferrying out more salves, so he's ahead on CS, but net worth probably a bit behind, just because he's been forced to ferry more regen. Oh, Makoto, if he can land this torrent. I don't know if that would have been enough to kill, but does force Jamesy all the way back. And is his team actually going to come and use this shrine, or is he just going to take it for himself? Alright. Takes it for himself, gets a quick... Oh, he tried for the stack, but did not quite get it. That's a bit of a gaffe.
Ah, clear sailing now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And we do have... Alright, Grimm's kind of showing it at mid. Nando just getting pressured out of the lane at bottom. His CS still struggling, but not too far behind the Slark. Grimacell has just picked up some phase boots early on here. And In Your Dream, he's wrapping around. They don't have vision on him here inside the trees. Beastmaster about to grab that level 5. Already pops out, looks for the stun, but Nando reacts nicely and will not get caught. If they can keep their catapult alive, that would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. No, it's going to just suicide the tower. Oh, not quite, actually. Aggro's onto Nando, so it stays alive. What can they do? Grims does not have a point in Illuminate. But still difficult to push into the flat cannon. How's this Invoker doing? So he's got his boots. 2-2-0, nothing too surprising. Kezcute was hoping for this sneaky pull up through this way, but does get interrupted. Nicely done by Urice. What the heck was... What just happened with Beastmaster? Did anyone else see that? Did he just have like the drum? Who knows? Jamesy, what are you doing here? Alright, he TP's straight in and just immediately shows. There wasn't a homing missile cast, there was nothing there. And now that knowing that the OD has TP'd bottom, Makoto's just gonna punch your tower. Why are you... What is this rotation? That feels so game losey. What? Now he just has to walk all the way back mid. What is he doing? I guess he doesn't want to play mid lane anymore, but like, I guess it should just go jungle, surely. And now Kunkka's making a rotation top. Invoker pressuring Kezcute, but little does he know Makoto's coming up behind him. They will lose the Lina on the bottom side. ERS needs to land a nice tornado. He does get it onto 2, but he's just dead. And Caudle also dies as the trade down bottom. FBZ turning around, still has the Primal Roar. And Jamesy also getting dragged away from the mid lane. He has not been farming in the meantime. And net worth heavily favoring Boom. Actually getting up to 3k for a second there as their advantage. Alright, so now Invoker is TPing bottom. Is this spotted? No, they managed to kill off the Hawk. I think, was it a little bit oh no, not mispositioned. There's a sentry down. But Sand King's nowhere to be seen, and Invoker has been off map for a little bit. In your dream, not gonna be able to land a stun. Kezcute's down here. Blind actually pushing them all out of the call down. They're gonna lack some damage from that. FBZ just throws out the roar. In your dream still standing his ground, but he will be brought down in a second. Jamesy even getting involved here. Yeah, they got the snap onto Kezcute, but they can't proc it any further, and Cignal rotating 4 heroes down to this bottom lane. Jamesy is so anxious to get involved. I guess this is just his playstyle. This must be why they pick him Tiny so much, because whenever he's playing Tiny, he does just rotate around everywhere. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, Invoker, he wanted this bounty, but too many heroes waiting for him up on the high ground. Makoto making the rotation. They had a dust as well, and that's going to be an easy kill. Still ends up being a 2-2 bouncer and split. Sand King and Slark grabbing their respective bounties on either side of the map. But who will be ready to fight for Cignal? Van's already got his Veil picked up, so Blink shouldn't be too far away, and that's going to be really, really nice, amplifying up the OD's damage. So James, he doesn't need too much. I imagine, man, it would be really, really nice if he just went for a super early Force Staff this game. I don't know what else he really needs. Kaya is pretty popular, but Force Staff just seems so important against the Pounce, against the Chain Stun from the Kunkka and whatnot. Walker getting caught out here. FBZ just dodging. They do force out the Ghost Wall. Still trying to hang on to their tier 1 tower, but it looks like Boom will not be denied. Glyph coming out. Nando maybe thinking about a fight. He is level 8. TP also coming in from the Sand King, and FBZ getting slowed down by the Ghost Wall. Cold Snap and pushed back towards the tower. Boom just going to leave him for dead, and with that, they should be able to secure this deny on the tower. Catapult couldn't quite finish it off. 3 HP remaining. Van actually not going to be going for the Blink. Instead, trying to tank up a little bit more and go for a Hood. Is Pipe even that useful here? I guess the Kunkka is going Radiance. Does have some nice synergy with the Bonds, and he's had a damn good early game, so why not? Makoto just kind of chewing through the jungle for the time being. Dreamacell is going for this sort of Ana build with the Drum Diffusal. Seems to have become just the Slark default at this point. Though we don't. Hard to say what the default build is for a hero that we just don't really see all that much in competitive. And Dire Scan on the Shrine reveals the fact that the Invoker is making his way down here. Kezcute trying to plant some deep ward. These are going to be very difficult to de-ward. Is he even going to go for the high ground as well? Oh no, comes in a little bit deeper. Needs to be careful though. Might get scouted. Does he just okay? Just settles for the high ground. One of these wards should stick around at the very least, and he does have the Chaotic Offering ready to rock and roll. So Boom should be able to go for a play. They got Vlad's. They've got Rock. What did the Kunkka buy? Did he get a Shadow Blade? Okay, so not going to go for the Radiance right away. Does just go for the Shadow Blade. And you can see that Boom are really trying to push the pace. Jamesy still hasn't decided what item he wants, and now makes the decision, picks up the Blink. And also nice for the counter initiation, or keeping yourself safe, blink out after an imprisonment. Makoto running forward with the Shadow Blade, immediately getting stunned up. Also Cold Snap. He's pretty tanky though, throws out the boat just for a little bit of extra life. In comes the Ignis Fatuus. Will-O-Wisp gonna drag him back in. They're not dealing with it fast enough. And the boars don't actually do anything in that situation, but alright. Shadow Blade revealed, no kill, but they get the Kunkka out of there. Nando is pressuring top, not going for any kind of greedy items this game. No Maelstrom, no Aghanim Scepter. He is just going straight up BKB, and I think this is 100% the right choice, because if this goes late, I still think that they just win. By virtue of their lineup. So why not just grab some early fighting items and secure yourself the best chance for the early to mid game. Oh no, the imprisonment was used at mid. Jamesy gonna get run down here. Makoto securing that kill. And Boom still have the Chaotic Offering.
Dire's bottom
Cignal
tower
are
is
really
under
getting
attack.
dragged around quite a bit here. They're responding to every single gank, but that is continuing to cost them in terms of both experience and the net worth. How's Lina doing? Just going for lens, very standard build. Did go back for the max stat Dragon Slave now. Oh, well, Roar on Van. Invoker also dying elsewhere. Chain Stun is brutal on this Sand King. And just nowhere for him to go. Invoker died at mid. Looks like just got boat comboed. And, oh, up top, Dreamcell putting some pressure onto Nando, who does just turn around with the Rocket Barrage and give it right back to him. But Slark also getting quite close to his Diffusal Blade. Nando wants to swipe these bounty runes. He gets the one, and looks like he will also be able to grab the second. Okay, so it makes it an even bounty trade. But OD still not looking so great on the net worth, and all of the tier 1 towers still standing for Cignal. This is a little bit of a problem for their lineup. They're not particularly great at taking buildings early on. And if they lose their mid-tier 1 tower without taking a tier 1, then I would be pretty worried in their situation. FBZ continuing to push the tempo, just going to go for a pipe. Realizing that they are going to have to take some team fights, and they do need to push high ground into Sandstorm, and later on some more points in Illuminate, stuff like that. Oh, not again. Jamesy gets rocked at mid. He got completely chain stunned, did he? Or he used the imprisonment and then got killed off again. And they lose the Radiant Courier. Oh no. Cignal. And everybody on Boom just immediately arrives bottom. They've still got the Roar. They're looking for this fight in your dream. They force back Van. And Kescute in the back lines with the Fatal Bonds.
Radiant structures are fortified.
What can Cignal do? Do they have a TP for Nando? They do indeed. Roar coming out under the Sand King. Torrent to follow it up. He can't escape. The Will-O-Wisp trying to make the space. Burst strikes there. Nando splitting up the back lines, going for Mikoto and Dreamcell. I don't know why they're running away from him. I think they can just turn and go for the Gyrocopter. Now runs back to the rest of the Boom team, but Nando is just sort of out on an island. Van does have another Burst Strike. They bring down the Lina. Boom taking this fight in kind of a weird way. Kescute's going to be the next to fall, but Jamesy TPing in, can't even use the Sandy's Eclipse. Double kill for Nando, but he'll be the next one to fall, as all three of these heroes on Boom just turn their attention towards him, cut him down. I don't know why they didn't do that just a little bit earlier. I don't know why they were so afraid of the OD, but at the end of the day, it's a 4 for 2. And Boom also claiming that tower, now up to an 8k net worth lead. And this OD is just sort of feeding. Tried for early ganks that did not work out. He's now died a couple of times, and this was their last overall pick. The way that Cignal drafted it, this was really supposed to be like, we got you. We picked the OD and you don't have the answers. We win. But that is not the way that things are going currently. Poor old Invoker still doesn't have any earn charges. Sand King, alright, he's given up on the idea of this hood, which I think is the right decision. They really need this blink initiation from the Sand King. And yeah, Mikoto just gonna go for a BKB now, so you can really see the timing coming for the Boom. Dreamcell is still pretty fat. What can Cignal do? It's really hard for them to set up ganks, especially with the Quasvex Invoker being in the situation that he's in. Oh no, Van tried to time it with the Burrow Strike to escape onto the low ground, but Mikoto waits him out, drags him back. And that is that's going to be yet another kill. You can see why people like picking Kunkka so much. Even with the X marks the spot nerfs. Nope, they've caught another one. What are you going to do, Invoker? The MP's helping them out a little bit, but In Your Dream just reaches across the battlefield with that Light Strike array, and Mikoto cuts him down with one more cleave. The Boom ID are rolling. Oh, and is Nando just dying solo at mid? Alright, Dreamcell's found him. Jump in imprisonment from Jamesy. FBZ Seemed like he could have got the roar off, but he reconsidered at the last second. Van will be able to keep the carry alive. Nando slinking away, less than 100 HP, as Makoto is still just punching this tier 2 tower. They're TPing in on the Invoker. What can he do? They still don't have Nando really ready to fight, and not the best coordination. Burrow Strike coming out. They do have another Burrow soon. Van, that's 2 Burrow Strikes and 0 stuns. The TP was threatened by Nando, but he couldn't actually complete it, so now the Invoker's just being baited. Another TP being cancelled. Cignal just not taking this fight in the right way at all. Now they lose the Sand King, and it just goes from bad to worse, as now it's a 12k lead for Boom, and they are ready to march their way up onto the high ground. FBZ has the pipe to protect the creep wave, but they've also got the glyph. They don't need it to defend their towers. They're straight up onto the high ground. And a poorly timed Illuminate not going to clear this creep wave fast enough either, so Nando forced to commit the flak just to get the creeps out of the base. And Boom will immediately be able to go and grab all 4 bounties. Grab a regen here on this Lina. Cignal, what do you do? We still have not seen a Sanity's Eclipse be cast by Jamesy. Like, this combo is really supposed to be the Sand King going in with the Burst Strike, plus the Veil. Jamesy gets off a couple of auto attacks and then just unloads the hammer on everyone. No, none of these cores on Boom are particularly high int growth. So, alright. New Dream lands the stun. Gonna try for the walk away. Can he do it? He does. Jamesy just doesn't feel confident. Doesn't know where the heroes are on the enemy team. He's coming forward again now, but Makoto's looking for him. But alright, tries for the straight up torrent, not going to be able to land it. The Sandy's Eclipse coming out this time around. Imprisonment still on cooldown for a little bit. Jamesy imprisons himself. There's no torrent. Makoto just waiting for him. Can he get the blink away? He does. Into the trees. Torrent not quite in the right position, and he will be able to escape. Alright, Jamesy finally making some kind of a play here. Gets a kill for his team, makes some space, gets out, and secures himself the 4 staff. Finally, that's something. That's what Cignal need. They need some more of these little plays. They need some more time. Still have not lost to tier 3 just yet, but double BKB coming up soon for Boom. Plus FBC is just getting tanky, man. Look at this. He's already got the full pipe, picking up the Vanguard after that. You start to wonder if Cignal might run into some damage issues. It shouldn't be too much of a problem later on once the OD has some items, but for now, not looking so hot. Dire scan as FBZ is looking for something. Do they have any vision? Just some over in the lane. They do have heroes that are reasonably close to be able to connect. FBZ and Kezcute are going pretty far away from their team. Nando's still just waiting up on the high ground. He actually manages to break the smoke on Kezcute, and he's charging towards them. Nando, this is a crazy play. There's the... Oh, there is the Chaotic Offering. He gets roared up as well, but the BKB protecting him through most of this. Kezcute's going to go down. FBZ still fighting. Overcomes Jamesy with the auto attacks. It's a support for support so far. Nando, one touch to bring him down. Kezcute's got a double kill. Here comes the boat. Jamesy does manage to imprison himself. Might be able to get the blink out as well. He goes up onto the high ground. He's actually chasing FBZ, finishing that kill. Pops the shrine, keeping himself alive for a tiny bit longer, but the chain stun comes through. It's inevitable. Boom. Not even forced to use the BKB on the Kunkka. And that will end up being a 3-for-2 overall. Not terrible for Cignal, but that was their 10-second BKB on the gyrocopter, and I suppose Nando just feeling like they shouldn't be allowed to be in this this area of the map, but Boom are just so far ahead that they can kind of take any fight that gets offered to them at this point. So long as they've got their cooldowns up, but we're getting to the stage of the game where Chaotic Offering and Boat. Well, Boat's going to be up every fight. Chaotic Offering might be a little bit more of a weight. Slark getting tanky. Going to go for the Scotty next. Do we have any items coming up soon? Gyrocopter going for the Maelstrom Ags. We've got OD working his way towards a Hurricane Pike. Is the Pike even that good? Does he need BKB? Or does he need, like... I think I like BKB or Shivas or Hex more than I like this Hurricane Pike. But I guess we'll see. We are stabilizing a little bit. Net worth not really moving up too much more for Boom, and Cignal have gone for a smoke. Hoping to contest some bounty runes, perhaps. Nando smoke gets broken. In Your Dream spots him. Heals up. Van trying to keep his carry safe. He's going to jump forward, drop the burst strike, and they will lose In Your Dream pretty much immediately. Nando's BKB now being forced out. Warlock in some danger. FBZ wants to help. Here comes the roar, and it pushes Heroes onto the low ground. Erish and Jamesy, they can't do it. They get a couple more auto attacks out, but now Nando is isolated next to the shrine. Warlock might even survive. Kez cute. He stays alive with the heal. Boom. What a roar from FBZ. Just completely takes OD out of the fight. He wasn't even the primary target, and with that, Cignal now forced to turn tail and run. Oh, that was so cool. I don't even think he intended to do that, but that was awesome. OD just didn't get to do any damage. Jamesy still has the Sanity's Eclipse, but he wasn't able to use it, and now Boom, straight into the pit. FBZ easily able to tank this up. And this is going to be an Aegis, more than likely, for Dreamacell. He's already got the spot. So, with that secured, he's going to be able to play like an absolute madman in these fights. Just suicide in, take out one of the cores, maybe just kill both of the supports, and then be able to rinse, repeat. Van is getting some pretty good farm on this Sand King. He's got his Blink and Force Staff up now, but still not really seeing the best initiations, maybe not the best use of the stun plus the Chakra Magic to be able to keep the chain stun going. It was weird. I can understand why he committed the way that he did after the Yules got used on the Gyrocopter, but kind of a weird place to fight. Oh, Yule's up on the Invoker. Tried to save him with the Force Staff, but the Laguna Blade is just too much. And that's going to be the last outer tower. Makoto chasing, looking for more. Nando, alright, they do have the Imprisonment. Keeping him safe, but will there be a follow-up stun? There will. Nice Force Staff away. They're still baiting with Nando, but his BKB might just get forced anyway. Dreamacell actually using his BKB, hoping that they could commit for that kill, but the buyback does come out of the Invoker, and that will be Boom's sign to just retreat back. So Makoto quickly deals with the push on the bottom wave. They are still yet to lose a tier 1 tower on the side of Boom. Still completely in control of this game, and Dota Plus, as you can imagine, very much favoring them at this point. But I think it can still turn around for Cignal. They just need Jamesy to find an opportunity in one of these fights. They need a multi-man Sanity's Eclipse. But first they have to hope to wait out this Aegis. Beastmaster sitting on 2.7k. Doesn't know if he wants the full Crimson Guard or if he wants to Blink. Blink is certainly useful for breaking up onto the high ground. Okay, yeah. Makes his decision. There's wards, FBZ. Your support wants you to pick up the wards for him. Oh, no. Oh, well. Oh, DD. Okay. Nice. Are they waiting for anything? Chaotic Offering still on cooldown for 90 seconds. Do they have... So they've got another, what, 2.5 minutes on Aegis? So they will have one more Chaotic Offering, plus the Aegis. OD with the full Pike, now going back for a Kaya Yasha as another BKB charge. Getting forced out of Nando, now down to 7 seconds, and with BKB on cooldown, have to imagine that Boom are looking to make a play here. The Force Staff used from Jamesy, but... What was that? Why not just imprison and then hope to blink your way out? Now he's dead for 60 with no buyback, and they've got no Gyrocopter BKB. Is this just how this game ends? Makoto's got the AC, so he's chopping wood on the tier 3 tower. Nando not even willing to come back, trying to grab this first tier 1 for his team for the game. Knows that they have no way to fight without the OD. So the support spam is just gonna have to be enough for now. Glyphs already being used, and
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
boom, they're here to stay. We'll end up losing that heal on the Slark, but they just pounce forward. In Your Dream from outside of the base locks down the other position 4. Uri's now dead for 60 seconds, and boom, are looking for more. First lane of Rax down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nando, BKB coming back off cooldown in 4 seconds time. They're going to have to fight without their OD potentially. Nando getting X'd again. They do have a Force Staff to get him out. Just continuing to poke and prod, threatening that BKB. 5 seconds to go on the roar. Nando needs to be careful. FBZ is going to wait for this jump. They drag him back in. There's the roar. Dreamacell looking for his opportunity. They try with the Will-O-Wisp to keep the Gyrocopter alive, but the Chaotic Offering comes in. Dreamacell pounces forward. They finish that kill. Jamesy is finally alive, but they just can't seem to fight with both of their cores at full strength at the same time. Jamesy wants to keep the fight going. Van does have another Blink Burrow Strike, but Makoto is holding the front lines. He's just too tanky. They don't even consider going back in on him, and with that, Boom ID now a 20k gold lead, heading towards a 30k experience lead, and Dota Plus not feeling very good about Cignal's chances at this point. Cignal just look like they have lost all confidence in themselves.
Radiant's bottom
I think doing well in the group and then immediately getting 2-0'd in the playoffs is starting to show a bit here. Makoto's going to go for a Nullifier instead of the Hex. The Hex has been pretty popular on Core Kunkka recently, but I guess this is kind of the same thing. It's not going to prevent the Astral, of course, but... And boom, they just want to close this game out right here, right now. They've got another Blink Roar. They've spotted Jamesy. They see him moving through the trees, and he will be the target. If they have any way to save him, he blinks away, but he's already been X. Dragged back into the Torrent. Nowhere for him to go. The Imprisonment is there to buy him a few more seconds. Tornado, Hurricane Pike, Jamesy. Killed off by one more auto attack. In Your Dream, Chasen looking for something. He is sitting underneath an Observer Ward, so they know what's going on, but... Cignal, okay. They do have buyback on OD. Gonna try and take this fight. Oh no, Sand King getting scouted out inside of the trees. Slark straight in there. Dragged back by the X. Burrow Strike's gonna get him a little bit further away. Blinding Light also making a bit more space, but boom, focusing the objective. They take the tier 3, and OD has already used this buyback, so no element of surprise for Jamesy. He needs a few stacks, but he also has to be careful about his positioning. There's the X. Alright, Imprisonment. Do they have a stun? No Chaotic Offering yet. Nice Burst Strike. Gonna connect onto 2. Makoto willing to keep on fighting though, and Van now outside of the Sandstorm. Dreamacell just gonna pop his BKB, start auto-attacking him down. Jamesy force-staffing himself forward. Now has to imprison, but gets caught by the stun. He had the Nullifier on, so he wasn't able to blink. Epicenter now coming through, but Makoto's still pretty tanky. Nando, BKB, fading now. Can they at least kill off the Kunkka? FBZ coming in, trying to help out. They've also got the heal from the Warlock. Don't tell me the Kunkka lives. Makoto will be brought down, but it's already 3 dead on the side of Cignal. Make it 4. Van, will he escape before this game ends? Yeah, okay. GG's being called. And Boom ID, an absolutely dominant performance. Jamesy made those early game rotations. The OD pick, I don't think working out how they were expecting at all. I really thought that the Sand King was going to do better in lane against the Slark Warlock, but it turned out to be a good matchup for Slark. Dreamacell 10-0 and 9, and if the hope was to have the OD punish and deal with the Slark, that was definitely not the case. We got a bunch of gold tiers, but I think Jamesy not living up to that this game. So we'll have to see if they can do a little bit better in game number 2. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'll be back for game 2 of Cignal Ultra versus Boom ID in just a couple of minutes. Catch you guys then.